I'm very used to being with my mom, or I was very used to being with my mom at all times. So right when she left, I just started crying. And I think I went to orientation crying.
I'd never been here until I showed up for the first day, believe it or not, which sounds like a terrible idea.
I'm the first one that's graduated from college from my family, and so it's very special.
So that's where I was born, in the refugee camps in Thailand. And so my mom was like, I'm not gonna let my children's opportunities go to waste because there's a war. And all she knew about this aircraft is that it's a bird and it flies into the sky and it disappears into the clouds, and you never know what happens after the clouds. And so she just had to have faith that this bird was gonna carry us somewhere.
My brother stopped me at the door as he was leaving. He's like, "You're leaving and you cannot come back." It's like, "You cannot come back until you are done with college." It's like, because you're not only doing it for you, but you're also doing it for your nephews.
I've always known I was going to attend St. Ben's since I was 7. It was a place that always felt like home to me.
And then I got to St. Ben's and everything changed because I was able to see a different world and to see how people live differently than my little, room that I shared with my sisters.
Just the engagement level of the professors probably was the biggest difference maker for me. I remember turning in my first paper and my professor called me over and said, "You're used to dialing it in." So the fact that he knew that, could peer in my soul, and I just thought was incredible. And it was really inspiring and empowering, and it kind of changed everything from that point forward. So the artist piece was definitely honed at St. Ben's.
One of the many things St. Ben's taught me is to see the world in a very different way, and St. Ben's made my world very big.
I always had support. Someone was there. So whether it is me trying to leave or any emotional, I was homesick or anything else, I knew there was somebody here that would help me, even if it was just lending a shoulder or an ear or something to hear me out.
So a hurdle I had at St. Ben's, it was my junior year, and I was struggling with some body image issues, and it was just awful. It was a miserable experience, and I knew it was sort of like my turning point of oh, I have to do something about this. Once I said, okay, I need help, everybody just rallied around me and helped me get the help that I needed to get.
I didn't take one day at St. Ben's for granted. I'm driven by the fact that I knew that someone had invested in me, and I had an obligation to show them that their investment was worth it.
Graduation day, being able to walk, and when they called my name, it's like, yes, that's me and I earned this, but my mom was here and she was actually sitting in the front row. It actually made me cry because it's I didn't do this for myself. I knew for this, this is ours and it's not just mine. Sorry.
An example of how I'm changing the world is building relationships with people across color lines, across racial groups, across financial, socioeconomic lines. I think that has been the most transformative and the most important things in my work.
The school attracts people who want to have their eyes and minds open.
And I think that's what this college has really helped build in me, and I hope in many other Bennies, is that I'm a woman. That's the first thing, and I have the power to do whatever I want because now I have the tools that I've gained in college and I can do it.